He jumped up right in time. I don't know if it would have caught it. I imagine, hear me out, I imagine I'll come back to this later when I'm beautified. I've been going through a shedding, a rebirth, if you will. I gave birth to myself on my birthday this weekend. And if you know, then you know. And if you don't, then, oh dear, I cannot explain it to you. You must go to the place within and experience what we are within. What we are within. I am at this point in my journey. I know I cannot explain it to you, and I don't seek to. I don't seek to come at you and say blind faith, intellectually engage with me. If you haven't experienced it, you haven't experienced it. And if you have, you have. And it is my hope that I can encourage you inwards. I understand the role I play. I understand my gift. I see it very clearly now. My gift is that I can see the gifts of those around me. I can see, I can feel, I can sense, I can identify their gift, and I can assist them in stepping into the role. Whether that's happening, whether they know it or not. I can bring out, by way of what my energy is and what I offer, I can coax their gift, or I can create a safety within them and an enjoyment around them to support such a gift. You see, what I have learned is we are each something. And that something could never be described with, oh, I'm a writer. Or you could never encapsulate it all with just some kind of adjective or label. But we are each something. We have gifts, and these gifts are very complex. It cannot really be explained or delineated in words in an essay. It's not to be, I wanted to say diagnosed, because it's a living, breathing thing, the gift. It lives and breathes within you and alongside you. And it's really just about, one, getting out of the way, so purifying the subconscious mind, purifying the heart, purifying the subconscious mind of beliefs of illusion, getting out of the way so that that gift can be appropriately and fully channeled through you and experienced by you. And it's interesting because it's taken me so long to step into my gift and accepting my role. I'm the artist. I am artist. I am joy. I am light. I am expansiveness. I am Jupiter. I am Bacchus. I am Dionysus. I am Metatron. I am the magnitude of what we are funneled into and through a being. I am safety. I am home. I am the divine feminine. Whoo! That do I know. I am angel. I am fairy. I am mermaid. I am feather boa. I am. I'm the rain. I'm the sun. I'm the moon. Anyway, for a long time it was hard for me to accept what I was, because I felt as though by me declaring what I am, that somehow invalidates or intimidates those around me in their roles. But I've learned that it does not. It actually does the people around you a disservice when you do not accept what you are, when you do not accept your divine gift and your role. Because when you know that, and that's why it's so important to awaken in people what their gifts are, so that they can see their purpose and their value, and they can live in more alignment with that truth. Because one, that's how we raise consciousness. That's how we shift. That's how we expand. That's how we grow. That's how we create peace. That's how we create peace on earth. That's how we create ease. That's how we create abundance. But two, and on the practical level, I mean, those are very like overarching, large scale, bigger themes happening that go far above and beyond our own individual lifetime. But on the practical level, on the day to day, I am better to the people in my life when I know my gift, because I know what I'm offering them. And then that way I can easily give and receive. There's no resistance in me to say like, oh, I can't possibly receive this gift from you, because what am I? No, I know what I'm offering. I know what my gift is. So I can freely give it all the time and any time, and uplift and infuse joy into what's around me. And I can also receive. I can receive with ease because I know what I'm giving. It's this interesting thing. Water with lemon, okay? We are detoxing, we are digesting, we are getting back into body, we are grounding, we are getting back into flow. There's no one I'd rather do this trip with but with you, my girl Isabella. Oh, the things we've seen, babe. The things we've seen, the things we've done. It's profound. And I don't know how I got here. I don't. But I do at the same time. Every time I say I don't know, they're like, yes, you do, Isabella. Yes, you do. You've been there the whole time. You've watched yourself become. It's just that the awareness I have now. And it's interesting because it's like the awareness is always there, but it's just a matter of how much are you letting it in. Because there was just a certain point at which I just kind of let myself go over the edge in that way and like, okay, no, I don't have to see it to believe it. I have to feel it. When I feel it, I know it. When I feel it, I know it. It's all this, the body is the site. It's all happening in the body. And the more we stay locked up in the mind, the less access we have to truth. The body is simply the site. And it's, I'm navigating it. I don't have it all figured out by any means, and I don't ever want to have it all figured out because what would that mean? Game over. But more awareness is a good thing because there can only really be more. There really is no end to this. It's infinite. We are already living in infinity. It's what this is. It's what the internet is, and we're all navigating this life with the internet. With the internet in our pockets. I was having this conversation with Katie today on the phone. There's this back and forth I find myself always playing between surrender and create. All right, so to what degree do I surrender to what is and let things be what they are? And then to what degree am I always kind of in this creator mode, looking and seeing and filtering the different lenses I could use to create something more beautiful, to create something easier? And it's that push and pull. And with my gift, I see the blocks in people very easily. Like I see where they are clinging to something that does not serve them. And by way of just general conversation, general connection, I attempt to show them something, right? And with a lot of people, I've been using this metaphor lately because it came to me when I was there on my birthday this weekend. I've been using this metaphor a lot. It fits. It's like I'm playing catch. And with some people, you throw the ball and they catch it and they throw it back and it's way over there. They throw you something way over there. With some people, you throw the ball and you realize you're playing on two different fields. You threw that ball, they're not even seeing it. It's not making it to their field. Some people though, and these are the ones that you have that connection with, you throw the ball and they catch it every time and they throw it right back. And they throw it back with a pitch that shocks you, but you still catch it, or flies right by you, but you see it and you laugh as it goes. There's something, it feels more true when I explain it that way energetically. Like, why do you get along with certain people? Why are certain people in your group? Like, why are you close with the people you're close with? It's not, there's nothing I could list out to you. I mean, the group of people, I have so many profound and deep and meaningful connection with so many people, and they're all different and they're all their own. And that's the magic of what we get to create here. And I'm so tapped into that energetic creating that's happening. That comes before any content that's happening on the physical to me. It's this energetic, it's this feeling experience. And it's magical. It's magical. I'm just trying to get people on board. I am tapped into something. I don't know how, babe. I don't know why. Maybe I do and maybe I don't. I carry ancient wisdom. And I guess maybe it's that we all do. And it's just a matter of tapping into it, allowing it. But for whatever reason, I know that about myself. I carry ancient wisdom that the majority of the world, it will take time to integrate. They cannot just understand it immediately. And I understand why, because it's just like, it was really helpful to have a conversation with Kenny over the weekend. It's just so helpful. The people in your circle, they allow them to be reflections of you. They teach you so much about yourself. They provide contrast. They allow you to then, different ways of seeing allow you to hone your seeing in a way. So this conversation with Kenny, and I was telling him, like, I know you're exactly where you're meant to be. I just know that. And he was like, how do you know it? And I was like, I just know it, because it could be no other way. Because if you were meant to be somewhere else, you'd be there. And, he said something which he and I both share like a Catholic upbringing, and he said something like, well, that sounds to me like what they would have told me in Catholic school when I had questions. They would have said, well, blind faith. And it was really helpful for me to hear that, because yes, I am always writing and creating things because they're natural expressions of myself, but also because I desire to show people the home that I've accessed within, the safety that I've accessed within, the truth that I've accessed within. I want to show people. And me just saying, just trust me on this, like, what's that going to do? It's something people have to experience. And so that shapes how I make art. I want to create experiences for people rather than, it's not about making something for somebody to point and marvel at and say, wow, look at that. Look at, someone made that. And maybe that's a part of art, right? Because it opens us up, because you think, oh, somebody made that. I could make something, or look at, it expands your understanding of what humans are capable of, and so what you are capable of. That is certainly a part of art. But a more important part of art is like, how can I change the way you see? How can I create something that you experience? Let's write that down, because that has to, art. How can I change the way you see? How can I create something that you experience? And this question leads me to, again, kind of going back to that create, surrender, push, pull, because I so often, like, when I find myself wanting to create, to write, to draw, to sing, to film, to perform, whatever it is, I feel so much more like my art is my living. It's not really these physical products that get created. While these are very meaningful and important to me, and they guide me and they create my world, like the things I make physically, the magic is there, of course. I hold them very dear, but the magic feels so much more in my living. It feels so much more in the impact I'm able to have by being in people's lives, by experiencing other people and having them experience me. I feel that is my art. The way I live is my art. Who I am is my art. What I embody is my art. And that's point blank living the artist's life. And you have to think about these things, especially if you're somebody who's called towards art. Like, if you're a creative, what does it mean to be a creative? Does it mean you create things and you like sell them and you profit off them? Or does it mean you live every moment like an artist that is making every moment? That every moment it's interesting. You're both creating it and experiencing it. And there's some areas of it that you are more consciously creating, and some are more subconscious. And that's, I guess, the light and the dark in a way, the shadow and the light. I don't. We are too in many ways. We are dual in nature. At least, it gets tricky to explain, because different truths are true on different levels and in different places. Because of course we are oneness. That's the root, and you root yourself there. But then to be here, to do this, most of us are called to play out that dual life. Like, if I were called to be a monk, a Buddhist monk, and be often in the mountains, meditate, I'd be a much more oneness led, duality still exists there, but I don't know. Anyway, we are physical. By being here and being physical, it creates this dual nature. and we see duality in everything. And so there's like this true self, and then it's not necessarily a false self. It can be if you let it become that. And I feel like what so much of my work is, when I think about what I'm doing online and what I am doing to call, I don't know, my creativity a career, if we were, is attempting to bridge that gap, attempting to get the right and the left brain of the collective mind to communicate with each other. Because that's what we need. We need bridging of the gaps. We need communication between the masculine and the feminine. We need interplay between the physical and the non-physical. You know, we need that balance. Because ultimately the oneness exists in that center, in the balance. But it also exists above and encompasses everything. Anyway, I'm a little hungry. And I don't have much food in the house. And that's because I'm certainly a non-physical leaning being. Some beings are more physical leaning. Some are more in the middle. Some are more non-physical. But I just find myself, like, a lot of the human things that I have to do not make sense to me in the way that writing or dancing or being makes sense to me. Whatever. I mean, that's a part of my path, right? My North Node is in Virgo, so my astrology besties have told me. While the earth right now is shifting from a very orderly, focused, practical, grounded way of seeing, they are shifting. You know, it's Age of Aquarius, divine feminine, mass awakening. They are shifting into seeing this more in this more esoteric way. They're seeing what is not there, believing what is not there, understanding that we can create from thin air. We create more space. This physically happens. You're at a concert and it's packed. If you are in the mindset of scarcity, there's not enough room. It's tight. I can't move. That is what your experience will be. If you enter this concert in the mindset of there's always space, I can always create more space because we create this. So I'll just believe in abundance. I'll invest in abundance. And I'll trust that there's space for me and there's space for those around me and there's space for all of us. Even one person in a fucking crowd doing that, do you understand? You are changing the dynamic of the space. That's your power. Like, that is our power. And I feel that a lot of the wisdom that seems to hang out here, I don't know for why. I seem to house many a frequency. They like to hang out here. I've made it a safe space for them. I've made it comfortable. I've made it easy. But for whatever reason, where the fuck was I going with that? I was going somewhere. I got off track thinking about Dionysus inhabiting me. We create this, is what I'm saying. And even just one person holding that vision alters a space. It alters the whole reality. That's like the impact of also knowing your gift. And I find myself being one of those people in most of the spaces I enter. You become aware of energy. You become aware of thoughts that are circling. And then you become aware of how you can ease tensions. You do it within yourself, and it ultimately does it for the whole connected group. The higher wisdom, and this, you know, it's taken me a lot of practice to come to terms with what it is that I do and who it is that I am, and to accept and embrace. Like I was mentioning earlier, it's been a long journey for me to embrace my role and embrace what I am rather than rejecting it for fear of upsetting other people. for fear of, other people hearing it and just being like, well, she's fucking crazy. She's making shit up in her head. I feel no desire to prove anything to anyone. Y'all see this shit I put online? It's funny too, being online in the internet age, because people think they view it and they think you don't know, like, that they have opinions. Like, there's some crazy things I post that I'm like, I'm well aware. Like, you don't understand when you're at a high enough vantage point and you're so self-aware and you've done the work of seeing yourself, allowing yourself to transform and watching yourself re-experience things in new circumstances and with new people. You watch yourself from the new transformed vantage point. You can see all criticisms of self from every angle because you yourself have already done it. You can see also, and this is more so I feel what I'm creating, is support and embrace and acceptance of yourself. You can see all potentials. So yeah, I post something online. It's just like you're aware of every criticism possible. You're also aware of every support possible. It's like, and you're fearless in the face of it. You post it knowing that people are not going to understand. They're going to judge you. They're not going to see you in your fullness. And it's like, I don't know how to explain, like, when you know what you know, it does not matter what anyone says or thinks. People say or think is just like this. Sometimes it doesn't even reach me. It's like pretty rare that it reaches me. For the most part, it just barely, it's way on the outskirts of my experience, and I'll just be like, oh yeah, that man just spit on me spit at me while I was walking down the street. I don't know, it's like you have to know how to take, or like, some man online commenting shut up on one of my TikToks, or a girl commenting, what the fuck is this? You have to know how to take it. It's like somebody said, I think it was in the Good Children podcast, and I think they got it from somewhere too, but they said something like, I've never wanted to trade places with, or the people that criticize you are like people you'd never want to trade places with. Like, dude, because joy is so much better. Like, you understand, like, letting people do what the fuck they're doing so much better than having critical comments. It hurts me to criticize others. It does not feel good. Why would I do it? And I know it hurts you too, baby. You criticize me, I know you're hurting inside. I feel bad for you. I'm sending you love. Okay, I'm not, there's no investment in criticism over here. Because I know the truth. And it's joy. And it's acceptance. And it's peace. And it's grace. And I'm rooted in it, baby. Whew. And that's why I feel like I have access to this wisdom. Because if you're like, you have to, it's like you got a clean house. You got a clean house to be able to see clearly. And I've spent so much time and so much energy cleaning house, mama. It's purifying the subconscious mind and purifying the heart. And what that looks like for purifying the heart, it's forgiveness, forgiving the self, forgiving others. And you're going to keep doing that. It's a practice. This is a practice. You don't just forgive yourself and everyone one time and it's done. It's a practice. And then what comes into play with the subconscious mind is purifying the self of illusions, of limiting beliefs that are not true. Like beliefs that would cause you to hold a grudge, beliefs that would cause you to believe you need to judge people, that you need to judge the outside world. Those are illusions. And everybody's, at a different point on their journey with it, because people, when you experience trauma, for a while, you need the illusions in a way. Like, the illusions protect you in a way, like, while you basically cocoon yourself. And that's okay. Like, we're all, I've had that period, is what I'm saying. And I still have that period in small ways, not like it used to be. I used to be a much more repressed and cocooned individual. And it took a lot of coaxing for me to, like, whoosh, butterfly the fuck out and transform. And it's like, since then, it's just been transformation after transformation. You start to get really allowing of those transformations. So that means you're not afraid to go to the dark places. You're not afraid to feel things as deeply as you can. You're not afraid to go to the very root. You're not afraid. You're also not afraid to go to the very top and hold the magnitude of all that is, because it's heavy. Holding this higher wisdom and knowing that like 95% of the time what you're doing is going unseen. People don't know how much you are changing the space, how much joy and love and grace you are integrating and grounding into this reality. You don't always get your flowers. I imagine by the end of my life, absolutely. But it's also, it's like not about that. The flowers are nice. They are nice for sure. I'm never saying no to receiving some flowers, right? But it's not what we do it for. But that's the thing. The purification of the subconscious mind and the heart is what allows you to see clearly. So then you may be holder of this wisdom. You may be holder of the wisdom that was already yours, that is ours, it is shared, it doesn't belong to anybody. I think we do each have like different pockets that we're drawn to because our vessel does have a specific mission. So we have our energetic signature in a way, but it's all shared. It's just a matter of, can you let it live in you? Can you integrate it? Can you ground it in your body and then live it and be it and bring it into the world? Because you're going to do that. And people aren't going to know right away what it is you're doing. You're going to go through a period of being unseen or feeling unseen anyway. And I could tell you, oh, but that'll end, right? You'll be out of it. And I don't know, because I know the ideas, the frequency that I'm bringing in, that I'm occupying, that I'm holding. Not everybody can hold it. Not everybody knows what to do with it yet. But people are certainly, I feel, a very recent opening to what I'm doing. Of course it was 2717 the second I looked at the time. Oh, you cannot make this shit up. You have to, when you live this way, if you're at all compelled by this, you have to create codes in your reality to bring you back, to affirm, codes to keep you going, basically. I've done that, dude. I've created a world that is entirely my own, that I could never fully explain to anybody else, because it's what I experience within. And that can be lonely. That can be a heavy thing to carry. Because I attempt to show it in everything that I do. And I attempt to share this wisdom. But not everybody is a vessel that can, at this moment, accept it or see it or understand it or embrace it. However, there are a lot of people that do and that can and that are. And we are in the middle of a mass awakening and a leaning into the feminine. So it's like, if I got to be on the forefront, I'm not mad. Okay, I'll be in the forefront of the collective mind. Okay, I'll be the one at the front that's digging and making space and pushing us further. I'll lead the pack. I don't mind. Okay, today I'm crazy to you, but in 50 years, you're going to look back and say, wow, how'd she know all that before? I'm in it for the long game. I don't mind at all. It's like when you know the truth, like nothing can really sway you. It's beautiful. Anyways, I think I'm going to end it here. I'll probably have more to say later, but that's that. Thanks for chilling. And I'm wishing you blessing upon blessing upon blessing. I am extending my gift to you, and I hope that you may do the same with yours, into your world. Breathe life into it, because you are the breather. You are the breath. You are the breath. Don't forget it.